total hypocrite. Harry left red-faced as Thomas Markle Jr. unmasked nasty truth about his company. During his appearance on Big Brother VIP, Thomas Markle Jr. did not hold back when it came to sharing his thoughts on his half-sister Meghan Markle and her husband Prince Harry. Now, the reality TV alum has made another subtle swipe at the royals. Taking to Instagram on Wednesday, the Big Brother VIP alum shared a photo of the moment he arrived in Oregon in the United States. "Just got into Oregon to visit my boys. And no, I didn't fly a private jet here," he wrote. Some fans took the post to be a dig at his brother-in-law Prince Harry and half-sister Meghan Markle after the royals faced criticism for traveling via private jet despite being advocates for environmental consciousness. Prince Harry responded to the criticisms that some year, explaining that while he usually flies commercial, he makes an exception depending on the situation. "Occasionally there needs to be an opportunity based on a unique circumstance to ensure that my family are safe, and it's genuinely as simple as that," Prince Harry said, according to People. If Thomas was hoping to spark a response from his followers with the subtle dig, he succeeded. GB News host Eamon Holmes has also blasted Prince Harry as a hypocrite for playing a starring role in a climate change advert. On Breakfast with Eamon and Isabel, Eamon told Harry to give up the private planes if he wanted to start lecturing about climate change. Eamon said, "You couldn't make it up, could you? The hypocrisy meter just goes off the scale with this fella. Get his backside off private jets. Then he can sit and tell everyone else not to get on your Jet 2 or your 2E plane. Meanwhile I'll scoot around the world on a private jet." Royal expert Ross Clark said, "Just when you thought Prince Harry's post-royal career couldn't get any more absurd, he manages to make it so. His latest venture is a service which supposedly tells you how many carbon emissions will be emitted as a result of an airline passenger's journey by various airlines and routes, helping travelers choose the most sustainable option." He launched it this week on a Maori television channel in which he appears with a couple of ratings agents which pretend to assess his environmental impact as a tourist in New Zealand. Why use Maoris to push it? Harry is presumably hoping that the viewer will draw some kind of association between a traditional Maori lifestyle, with low environmental impact, and his airline ratings service. Indeed, in an accompanying podcast, he asserts that the Maori culture inherently understands sustainable practices and taking better care of our life-giving land, which are critical lessons we can all learn. If any corporation attempted to draw a parallel between its products and traditional Maori culture, it would, quite deservedly so, be attacked for greenwashing. It is pretty obnoxious to try to imply that tourists flying halfway around the world to visit New Zealand can have a carbon footprint which remotely compares with that of indigenous people. All Harry really succeeds in doing is to draw attention to his own Yeti-like carbon footprint, while trying, once again, to preach to the rest of us about climate change. There is nothing novel about Harry's new airline ratings service, which I am choosing not to name. There are plenty of places you can go to find out the environmental impact of an airline journey, and all of them point to the same thing, that anyone who regularly flies long-haul would be best advised to keep quiet and stop lecturing the rest of us on our greenhouse gas emissions. This all assumes, of course, that he travels by commercial airliner and not by private jet, as he and Meghan have done on many occasions previously. According to the consultancy Transport and Environment, private jet passengers are responsible for between 5 and 14 times as many emissions per mile as are commercial airline passengers. Harry may think he is saving the planet, others might judge he is merely opening himself to ridicule.